Todd, thanks for joining us today.
Great to be here, Robbie.
We were at MOLLIE Hotel here in Aspen, Colorado. New hotel that yourself and CCY Architects worked on.
Yeah, it was a fun project. Long time in the making. Started designing this hotel back in 2014 and just got it opened in December of this year, 2024. So a labor of love and glad to see it finished.
Amazing. It's a beautiful project. Before we get into the MOLLIE details, tell us about kind of your background, your approach to architecture here in Colorado, and kind of the mission that CCY brings to the table.
Yeah, so CCY, we're a firm of about 45, 50 people based in Basalt, Colorado, just outside of Aspen. We work on a lot of single family residences as well as commercial work. All of our commercial work really being centered around resort communities and sort of serving resorts. So that includes, base facilities at ski areas, on-mountain restaurants, hospitality. I think the thing that all of our work has in common is that it's really about finding the strong connection to place. We talk about connecting community, people, and nature to get the best out of all of those things. In terms of our process, I think we're unique. I know a lot of people talk about collaboration and being collaborative, but I'd say collaboration is truly at the root of what we do.
We love working with CCY. I think one of the, not only the best firms in Colorado, but one of the better firms in the nation. You guys do great work and just take a great approach to design, and your projects speak for themselves. How has architecture changed over the last 10 years in Colorado specifically?
I think there's more obstacles to getting things built than there ever have been. I think particularly on the commercial side of things, with land basis, with entitlements, with interest rates, and then take into that, the more practical issues of insurance and wildfire. It's an uphill battle, and hence why projects like MOLLIE take a long time to really see through fruition. But I think that only allows architects like CCY that do what we do at the highest level to rise to the top and find the path through sort of the difficulties and the challenges that exist in today's market.
So with this project, MOLLIE Hotel, I know we talked about some challenges, but what were the important aspects? What mattered within the community? How did some of the key pieces of this project come together, and what was really important for the project itself?
I think maybe the biggest thing for this project is its presence on Main Street. Main Street, Aspen, Colorado is sort of a precious place in the eyes of many. And so how we create something that's sensitive to all of the pressures. Our location in town is just outside of the commercial core, and at the point at which Main Street has started to transition from a commercial hub to the historic residential West End. So the mass and scale of the building was really, really important. How that broke down to feel like it fit into the West End of Main Street in Aspen was a really large driver of the design force. And some of that, in terms of connecting to place and responding to sort of the proportionality that exists on this end of Main Street.
Well, let's talk a little bit about wood. With this hotel, you guys chose to work with this Accoya product that we're looking at right here. What's your general approach to wood in architecture, and what specifically with this project, what drove the decision to use wood, the texturing, the size, the profiles?
I'd say in the vast majority of our projects, we always think about installing wood as a ventilated rain screen, so that if we can keep the sort of climactic conditions on the front face of the wood similar to the back face of the wood, it just helps promote longer term stability of the wood as it's installed. In Aspen, Colorado, we're just below 8,000 feet. The sun here is incredibly powerful, 300 plus sunny days a year. Any material takes a beating, and we can have temperature swings in the summer from 85, 90 degrees down to 20, 25 degrees at night. And so thinking about how we detail a wood facade in a way that allows the stability of the product to be ensured is an approach we always take. And that then also led to the choice of Accoya, largely one that was about price point. It was about durability, and of course aesthetics. We knew we were wanting to use something that was warm, that felt welcoming, that sort of connected to this idea of not only wood in the sense of the residential construction of the West End, but wood in the sense of the high alpine and sort of the aesthetic of what you expect when you think about regional response to architecture in a place like Aspen, Colorado. So something warm, more in the blonde tones.
That's great, Todd. What about sustainability? I mean, I know you guys take a sustainable approach to all your projects and as a practice. I assume the sustainability factor came into play on this project.
We like wood for a lot of different reasons, and some of it's just clean, simple, not a lot of heavy chemicals to process it, not a lot of mining, can source from sustainably forested places and think about the broader impacts versus some of the other materials that are available on the marketplace. I think one of the challenges of the future is, wildfire and how to get to a product in wood that's truly fire retardant. And certainly within our assemblies, we look at using non-combustible sheathings as a backup to that.
One detail on this I look at every time I come by is the various widths. We talked about the color and the texture of this Accoya product, and this is the actual texture and color we did on this project, MOLLIE Hotel. I think you did 3 different face widths with a 1/4-inch reveal, and I just really like that. It mixes up, the monotony of just a single width board. What thought process went into those various sizes of?
I think there were a few things that influenced that. One was, it started out as an aesthetic choice. And again, I think the monotony you talk about of a standard 6 or 8-inch face and just sort of repeating, there's a cleanness and a modernity to that didn't quite feel right for our vision for what the project wanted to be. It wanted to, again, feel like it fit into this sort of alpine setting. And then also, as you hike or bike through aspen groves, there's this thing that happens. There's all these vertical white trunks, and you see layers of them in the forest, and they could all be the same diameter, but as you see the depth of them, there's just sort of this spacing and this randomness that happens as you hike or bike through an aspen forest.
Why is wood so popular in Colorado and these environments, these markets? Is it because we're in the forests and in the mountains and surrounded by nature and working with a natural product like wood?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of clients that come to us and say that they want a modern house, but they want it to fit into the mountains and they want it to respond to the mountains, and they don't want it to be cold and uncomfortable like you might see from a modern project in LA or Miami Beach or even New York City, but they want it to have a warmth and a comfort. And I think wood really speaks to that idea of comfortable. I think there's some level of, I don't know if it's expectation, it's just sort of inherent in this place that it's what has been used in the mountain communities for centuries to build, and it's expression of what's available to these communities when material was being cut from a site and put directly up on a building. So again, I think it's about regionalism, it's about specificity of place, it's about warmth, it's about comfort.
We talk about biophilia a lot and biophilic design, using natural materials to connect the occupants, the people in and around those homes or hotels or buildings, to really connect with nature. And I know we're surrounded by nature now, but still, using those natural materials, especially inside a home, to bring the outer natural world inside the house. How important is biophilic design? I think y'all do it naturally, it seems like. Is that important to your approach? I'd
say it is, and I'd say, I've been with CCY for 25 years, and I don't think biophilia existed as a term, or if it did back then, I wasn't familiar with it. But those same things that drive biophilic design, connecting to nature, pulling the inside out, pulling the outside in, rather, has been a part of CCY's work for the longest time. It's about connecting to place, making you feel like while you're sitting in a lobby, in a living room, in a kitchen, how are you still connected to nature? And that's through materiality, that's through windows, that's through ventilation, and feeling like the line between inside and out is blurred to the greatest degree we can.
Absolutely. What does the future hold, Todd? What do you see changing in your field?
I think
locally and
abroad. Sustainability, energy production, net zero, all of that's going to continue to rise to the top to try to stay ahead of changing climate. This hotel in particular, 68 kilowatt hours of PV on the roof, heat pumps, conditioning all of the hotel rooms, choices about glass glazing systems to try to create the most efficient thermal envelope we can. I think we're going to continue to see a push for paying attention to how much both embodied and operational carbon our buildings use. I think if you're not talking about that as an architect, as a developer, as a building owner or operator, then you're probably behind the curve.
Well, Todd, this has been more than enjoyable chatting with you.
For sure, it's been great.
MOLLIE Hotel in Aspen, great project, award-winning, brand new hotel, but has already gotten a lot of accolades, so great work on this project.
Thanks for all the help with the material, really appreciate it.
Anytime.